Hey, yo, my G, where you from?
Guyana.
Ghana?
No, Guyana. Yeah. Hello, Wagwan. Yeah. I came from a land. It have many water, many great sons and many daughters. And we have the land here where many ask for. We never see Katrina, nah those disaster. I feel nice we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we show them pretty. The man full of faith, me nah know none was slippy. Guyana me say big up on no city. Cause this is the dear land of the free, land of the many waters, resources and trees, land of the rivers and seas. I proud, Phoebe, Guyanese, land of the Amerindians, the Africans, the East Indians. And Portuguese, not to mention the Europeans and the Chinese. Them feel blessed from Guyana beach breeze. Cause enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Alright, 1, 2, mic check. You from Gravity, are the nicest. Match time, my city. Are the hypest. We see them gyal wind up in a some liquor tight dress. We hustle from morning till night catch. Them finno Guyanese get a youth not like rest. House and car, them finno we like press. Check the bank line them. We not like check. We got gold and diamond, them thing priceless. Timber bauxite, then check the aisle next. GDF, Miami is the finest. I mean I talk about the sugar, nor the rice yet. So a Marshall, I drop the Guyanese bomb. For feed the nation, that's the Guyanese plan. Big up a kilo, them with them Guyanese slam. Guyana, that's where them Guyanese from. People tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. I came from a land, it have many water, many great sons and many daughters. Is we have the land what many ask for. We never see Katrina or nah those disaster. I feel nice we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we show them pretty. The man full of faith, we nah know none was slippy. Guyana we say big up on no city. Enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Hello, Wagwan. I the nuclear family, every master one up fully. A one-time records, a 592, we think that. Hello, Wagwan.
Hey, yo, my G, where you from?
Guyana.
Ghana?
No, Guyana. Yeah. Hello, Wagwan. Yeah. I came from a land. It have many water, many great sons and many daughters. And we have the land here where many ask for. We never see Katrina, nah those disaster. I feel nice we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we show them pretty. The man full of faith, me nah know none was slippy. Guyana me say big up on no city. Cause this is the dear land of the free, land of the many waters, resources and trees, land of the rivers and seas. I proud, Phoebe, Guyanese, land of the Amerindians, the Africans, the East Indians. And Portuguese, not to mention the Europeans and the Chinese. Them feel blessed from Guyana beach breeze. Cause enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Alright, 1, 2, mic check. You from Gravity, are the nicest. Match time, my city. Are the hypest. We see them gyal wind up in a some liquor tight dress. We hustle from morning till night catch. Them finno Guyanese get a youth not like rest. House and car, them finno we like press. Check the bank line them. We not like check. We got gold and diamond, them thing priceless. Timber bauxite, then check the aisle next. GDF, Miami is the finest. I mean I talk about the sugar, nor the rice yet. So a Marshall, I drop the Guyanese bomb. For feed the nation, that's the Guyanese plan. Big up a kilo, them with them Guyanese slam. Guyana, that's where them Guyanese from. People tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge.
Friday, we're paving the way. Wake up, the day is bright, time to feel the flow. Turn your dial to Livewire, we're ready to go. With Courdel Jones, you know it's gonna be real. From 8 to 9, from 8 to 9, bringing vibes you can feel. News, views, and what's hot today. We'll keep you wired in every way. We'll keep you wired every way. In every way. Livewire, filling and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour. So grab your coffee, your tea, or toast. With Courdel Jones, we'll give you the most. Livewire, we'll give you the way.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Livewire with yours truly. Really happy to be here with you this morning. Look, I swear to y'all, election season in Guyana, I love it, but I hate it as well. But I love it. The amount of content that you get. These guys are cray-cray. Man, we got a bunch of videos to look at this morning. I'm really happy you guys have tuned in. I woke up this morning a bit upset. You know, I got some not bad news. I got some information about something that's a bit delayed. And sometimes I wonder why some of these government employees can't just do their job. Your job is to process something and pass it to the other department. Just do your job. Jesus Christ, man. But I want to make it clear. I've said this before. And the government as a whole gets the blame. President Ali or Prime Minister Mark Phillips not sitting at any one of them ministries holding up your payment or holding up some process for you or that kind of nonsense. Is these Guyanese just like you in these ministries? And sometimes it's just pettiness and jealousy with some of them. You understand? So they see you getting through with something that they might want or they feel they should get more of. So they hold up your thing. Ridiculous. But nevertheless, we ain't gonna let them people down with spirit. So there were several interviews that were brought to my attention. The first one we're going to be dealing with, there was Mr. Dr. Mark France, former Mayor Ubraj Narine, and Jonathan Yearwood. They were on the Freddie Kassoon show, right? And it was funny. Are we gonna go through it? Also, Mark Benchcop would have had this guy, I can't remember his first name, something Thomas. He's usually on his program. And he spoke to the information that was released from the US Congress yesterday or the day before, one out of the two, right? Now, I saw Gordon Mosley and a former employee of Livewire News try to make it seem like there was something untoward happening. You understand? But those individuals, again, I say they have their own agenda. They're allowed to have their own agenda. You understand? And despite what they see and all the information they have, it's just like when I went to, no, not like when I went, but it's just like what happened in Jonestown, right? All them get told to drink the Kool-Aid, so they should drink the Kool-Aid. Some get forced to drink it, but most of them drink it voluntarily. Them two, Gordon Mosley and Michael Richmond, heavy Kool-Aid drinkers. You understand? If you go Michael Richmond page right now, Congress Place Baby, which you're entitled to Michael. But don't pretend that you have in-depth knowledge of geopolitical matters and you could speak on them. Have a seat, sir. You barely do sport news by itself, which you are capable of doing. Barely sports news on your own. Right, Mike? Have a seat. Anyway, let me get into it. So, as I said, Dr. Mark France, Ubraj Narine, Jonathan Yearwood they were on the Freddie Kassoon show. And it started out with, Freddie started out with Dr. France giving his take on the ANOG collaboration, right? And then Jonathan Yearwood had an opportunity as a member of ANOG. I can't remember seeing if he had resigned or not. But he had an opportunity to give his take on what ANOG has done, right? So I want you to listen to Jonathan Yearwood here, right? And then we're going to move down the line. Take a listen.
As I was saying, good evening once again, and thank you all. Thank you, Freddie and Leonard, for having me back here to have this quite an interesting discussion as to a very recent event with
Freddie Mango Pelter ringing in the middle of the show. It's by
ANOG collaborating with WIN. There are a couple of things that needs to be cleared up first of all. And Mark quite rightly says that there.
I want you all to listen to the reasoning put forward by Mr. Yearwood, Ubraj, Leonard Craig. I ain't playing nothing Dr. France, because he's a worries by himself. And he keeps tying up himself in the interview. But let me continue.
Two different types of sanctions. And the US ambassador to Guyana, made it quite clear that the OFAC sanction is a financial sanction. And it does not affect people who associate with, it does not affect friends of persons who are sanctioned on the OFAC. However, what it does, it puts you as the individual on the US government's radar.
Like in case you falsify your rotation information.
And if you think that they're not going to be if they're not going to start scrutinizing you, then something is definitely wrong with your thought process.
So basically, Jonathan Yearwood said, in not so many words, Dr. France is a madman. Dr. France is a madman. Jonathan, sorry guys. Morning to the people across the 10 administrative regions. Morning to the persons joining us across the diaspora. Special morning to the persons joining us in the comment section. Right? We getting back into it. So literally that Jonathan Yearwood said, in not so many words, Dr. France is a madman. Listen again.
And if you think that they're not going to be if they're not going to start scrutinizing you, then something is definitely wrong with your thought process.
Madman. Dr. France is a man. Jesus. Listen. Pamela Gopi, if you think it hot now, wait till we get down into the show. Wait till we get down into the show. I rolling this morning. Plus one of the Livewire family made me aware of some interview Ian Allen did with Azruddin Muhammad in the interior. So could you imagine, right? I'm going a little off topic here. Let me turn this phone down. Guys, I found the phone back. They got honest people in Guyana. I must say, big shout out to the staff at Eagles Snacket outside of the West Demerara Secondary School. My skin growing. Them people could have sold my phone for parts or something. Them people keep my phone for days and returned it to me. We got honest people in this country still. And y'all support them, please. Eagle Snacket outside of West Demerara Secondary School on the West Bank. Thank you guys for holding on to the phone. Anyway, let's continue. Right? So Jonathan Yearwood basically said, man, look, this guy gotta be a madman. He gotta be a madman.
Because if you want to be associated with someone who's sanctioned under OFAC financial transactions, even though you're not involved in financial transactions with this person or persons, you become a target.
Exactly.
The US government will start to investigate you, your family, your friends.
It's logical. Jonathan Yearwood is a logical person. You understand? But you see, Mark trying to get to the top by any means necessary. You see the better information Critic give y'all, I think it was sometime last week, in relation to this guy, Mark France, Dr. Mark France. You see the better information Critic give y'all? He wasn't lying, you know. And I feel like this what does really bite Dr. France. You understand? Critic was not lying about the information in relation to who's this guy's brother-in-law. Right? Critic wasn't lying to y'all. It is true. So I don't know if it's like a personal vendetta this man got against a certain government official who's his brother-in-law. You understand? Make him willing to do whatever it is to get into the seat of power. But I just let y'all know, Critic wasn't lying to y'all.
As well, to see if there's any financial connections between the two of you. So, in my logical thinking, anyone in ANOG who deals in financial aspects in Guyana, and I can understand why some of the lawyers have walked away from ANOG.
Ralph Ramkaran, Timothy Jonas.
Because their offices are registered offices for some of the foreign companies that are in Guyana. That's a financial transaction, and they don't want to be brought under that US government scrutiny for financial transactions sanctions. So they've decided to separate themselves from ANOG, even though ANOG may consider itself as a social connection with the sanctioned persons. They have opened, the persons in ANOG, the senior levels of ANOG, have opened themselves up for scrutiny by the US government to see if there's any irregularities in their dealings with any companies or with any of the businesses that have been sanctioned by the US government.
You understand? He's long-winded. But what he's saying is making sense. What he's saying is making sense. Let me continue a little more.
So it's a very, very tricky line ANOG has decided to take, and it's a very slim, very thin, and any mistake can lead a lot of people into financial troubles.
So, listen, Yasaki and Jabur made a video, but oh, you misunderstood. Fear-mongering with the sanctions! Fear-mongering! Fear-mongering with the sanctions, Kian Jabur. You notice he ain't come out and said nothing in relation to this? Huh? And ANOG? You notice?
With the US government.
He telling people, don't worry, you can't get sanctioned for nothing. But you're seeing Kian Jabur in ANOG and the stupidness with Azruddin anyway. You're seeing him anywhere.
My other statement on this is, why would you want to be associated politically with someone who has been sanctioned financially by the US government? Politics and finance go together.
You understand? Because when you become president, right? Your presidency, your cabinet, you're in charge of Guyana finances. And that is why I told y'all on previous shows, this guy's intention is to save himself. To save himself. He wants the entire country to be sanctioned. The US got treaties with almost all the countries around the world. Almost all except for those who they're not friendly with. Who you think Guyana got to deal with? And if those countries have to choose a side between Guyana and the US, whose side do you think they're going to choose? Whose side do you think they're going to choose?
Let us assume that Win slash ANOG becomes the government.
Listen to this logic by Jonathan Yearwood. Listen to him.
They now have access to billions and billions and billions of Guyana dollars to do whatever projects. That's finance. That's finance. How do you function with that when you have been sanctioned financially by the US government?
It makes sense here how we said it just now. Right? It makes sense here how we said it just now. Let me let you go. Continue, Jonathan.
So it's a very tricky situation they will find themselves in once they go down this line with it. And I'm very sorry to see that this has happened. I'm extremely perturbed, extremely disturbed that ANOG, a party that I helped to start and get up off the ground, decided to go this way with T. Muhammad, Win political party. They could have gone with anybody else, but why?
Anybody else? They could have gone with Simona Brooms. They could have gone with a big head one from Linden, the false prophet. Anybody else?
With this particular one. Thank you.
Right? So that was Jonathan Yearwood's opening statements in relation to this new collaboration between ANOG and Win. So Ubraj Narine was there. And you know, I've seen Ubraj in photos on outreaches with Muhammad. So I said, Ubraj was there to support Dr. France, right? Because I remember he and Muhammad good. He and Muhammad good. But little did I know, Ubraj had better sense. Y'all listen to Ubraj now.
I am a close friend as well with Azruddin Muhammad, and I accompany him on some of his outreaches, charitable outreaches. A few times. I have known Azruddin since in the mayorship of Georgetown. But when
Here, how Ubraj start, right? You swear Ubraj going to give some credence to what Dr. Franz do and his buddy ass. You could have swear Ubraj gave some credence. Listen to Ubraj.
come to a part of Sanction and so on, and I can say very clear, and I'm a man, I'm very clear spoken since.
No, I just want to make it clear that Ubraj is not even spoken, much less to be plain spoken. You understand? So I don't know we talk, but he's pretty plain spoken now. Ubraj isn't even spoken to say about how he plain spoken. So you need to work on that, sir.
I held the office of the mayor. I don't really hold back on many things. It was one of my consideration, and I was engaged by the said political party.
Win come and ask Ubraj to join, right? You hear me? The said political party talking about Win.
To team up. That engagement, I never pay attention to it back, maybe.
I ain't got time for stupidness. That's what Ubraj said. Ubraj said, they come for bring me on the team. And I never pay attention to it. I have no time for foolishness.
For the past 2 weeks.
2 weeks if they're behind me. Me got time for stupidness.
And I believe the agreement was drafted and everything, sent by both of us. And I want to say very clear that, you know, as a former mayor, you do have connection in the US.
Yeah, you hear how Ubraj flipped the script now, right? I used to go out with Muhammad, you know, asked me for joining the party and stuff. And, you know, I really study it, but as a former mayor, I got connections in the US. Ubraj is playing that visa game. Ubraj is not playing those visa games. You understand? Let me pull you up a little bit. The master as a former mayor, I got connections in the US. Oh, what y'all want me to do?
Clear that, as a former mayor, you do have connection in the US, you have connection in different countries. I still kept those connection because of my political career. And I give it thought and so on, and I said I was contacted by other political parties.
Now, I have to stop here because Ubraj said he was contacted by other political parties. Ubraj, who political party contact you, brother? What, don't you going good talking your truth? No, you're going to start with the lies again. Who political party contact you? The PNC? The AFC? The PVP? I know it's not the WPA. You know David Hines don't like the best bone in you. You already get warned. Don't play a talking too much in Afro guy in this business because David gonna get you. You understand? So I am interested. Are Simona Brooms call you to join your party? This boy, I am saying this part of it. Ubraj is a dirty liar. He's a dirty liar. Not a soul in call Ubraj to join the party. Not a soul. Right?
As well. I was offered prime minister candidate.
Hear this liar, Bano. Who? Which political party? Which political party? The AFC definitely. The AFC definitely gained Ubraj no prime ministerial candidate. Right? Definitely not the PPP. You know that for sure. We already know who's the PNC prime ministerial candidate. It is not Ubraj Narine. So who some other brooms call and some other brooms call Ubraj Narine prime ministerial candidate? Or is it the false prophet in Linden called Ubraj Narine prime ministerial candidate? Because based on my knowledge, everybody outside of Simona Broom's party, ANOG, well, no, I shouldn't say that. Or what, TNM, the new movement or something, they asked you to be the prime ministerial candidate? Ubraj, you are going so good and then you jump into the lies.
For political parties as well. I was offered prime minister candidate.
Lies!
For political parties. But I have decided, to stick to my political party, the People's National Congress Reform.
So could you imagine, right? And this is to show you the lack of sense that Dr. Franz got. Ubraj Narine is being ostracized, discriminated against, and marginalized in the PNCR. And even with that, Ubraj ain't said, "Bye, I ain't going over there. I ain't going over there. I am not going over there for nothing. You could try with that. I'd rather stay here and suffer under Aubrey Norton. I'd rather stay here and suffer under Aubrey Norton." And and the thing with Ubraj, indeed, he's a bit plain spoken because he said, listen to this. I ain't gonna say what he said. Let me let he say it.
I got age on my side.
I have age on my side, Aubrey Norton. Got dead and left me. I gonna make it in here after. That's what Ubraj saying. Aubrey will die and I will still be here. You understand? I have age on my side.
Like I was telling that earlier, I'm just 33.
And that shocked me as well. Ubraj is 33. I older than Ubraj. Who worries is this? Ubraj is 33. What a piece of mix-up.
And there will be many other elections which will be in this country. So coming to the sanction part.
And I want you to listen to this part specifically, right? So we heard from Jonathan here, who said he is upset about the direction the party he helped started, the direction that is going in. The person talking now is a friend of Azruddin Muhammad, somebody who went out with him on multiple occasions to do philanthropic work. Listen to Ubraj Narine.
It triggered me a little with information I gathered. from overseas.
So Ubraj saying that he check on the information, but Mohammed's, and still people like Sherrod Duncan and Azruddin trying to tell people in Guyana that is the government of Guyana put these charges on him. Ubraj check overseas. Ubraj check on it overseas, and hear what Ubraj says when he checked on the information overseas. Listen to Ubraj.
And I decided to just take a step back.
So why would Ubraj take a step back if it was the government of Guyana pushing this issue on Azruddin Muhammad? Ubraj said he looked overseas. Let me play it back for you. Two minutes. Hold on. Listen.
Through with information I gathered from in this country. So coming to the sanction part, it triggered me a little with information I gathered from overseas, and I decided to just take a step back and let me remain with my political party.
You understand me? So there must be some credibility to what the US government is saying. Right? There must be some credibility. Ubraj said he checked overseas. As a former mayor, he will know people in Congress and here and there and whatnot. Ubraj checked. And after Ubraj checked, right? Ubraj said, well, I decided to take a step back. Kian Jabur trying to tell people in Guyana, oh, don't worry with he, I'll roll with Mohammed's. Mohammed's, yes, it's no, don't worry with that. But you're seeing he with Mohammed's. You're seeing he with Mohammed's, he party join. Kian Jabur is nowhere in the photos to the signing or nothing. You're seeing he with Mohammed's. You ain't hear or see Kian Jabur come out and say, yes, I support this move by ANOG to join WIN and to go to the elections. You hear he said up. You're not going to hear him say that. But he can encourage other people, more so Afro-Guyanese, who just run to Mohammed's with his stupidness. So, yes, don't worry with him. Nothing happened to you. Nothing happened to you. You go.
I'm not thirsty for political power. I'm not thirsty for...
No,
I'm not...
I want y'all, this section here, right? Ubraj did something I didn't think Ubraj could have done. Right? Ubraj covertly threw shade at Dr. France. Right? Ubraj said over, me thirsty for power, me running down nothing. Basically saying this is what this guy doing here. He willing to jeopardize the entire political party and all those who are following him because he want to get into some power. Ubraj understands that, God forbid, these two mook, Dr. France and us, win the elections. Ubraj understands what could happen to Guyana. And he want to mix up himself in there. You understand? So here's Ubraj's assessment of persons who are willing to team up with Mohammed. This is how he sees them.
Political party. I'm not thirsty for political power. I'm not
The thirsty for political, Dr. France, thirsty for political power.
thirsty for a seat in parliament.
Dr. France, and remember the hard parliament seat problem. You understand? You remember Dr. France, them the rowing but parliament seat when a certain person said, like Rosa Parks, I shall not be moved. You understand? So Ubraj understands where Dr. France is coming from. He is thirsty to sit in parliament and look across at his brother-in-law. You understand? That is what he wants to do. Could you imagine ANOG had one or maybe two press conferences from this date all the way back to January 2024? Right? Two press conferences. And half the people that were at that press conference, you don't really see them anymore. All of them pull out.
I'm not thirsty for any certain power. What I'm thirsty for is to see the Guyanese people benefit from our resources.
Well, at least you're seeing it happening on the presidential. So, you know, at least your thirst is quenched. You thirsty former mayor, you.
I want to see my Guyanese people to be better off in this country.
Good. Good. So that was Ubraj tape. This is the part that make I most follow me sit laughing. Here this is.
Dr. France, as you were speaking, two things
Wait, hold on.
came to mind. One, you equated the Mohammeds with May Thomas.
Wait, hold on.
They were sanctioned at the same time and under the same regime.
Under the same sanction.
Right, right. And then you did mention that there are two types of sanctions.
Well, they're more than.
Y'all, please give Leonard Craig some time to cook. He has an excellent point, but it's taking a little time to get there, right? Let cook.
More than two types
No,
of
but
sanctions.
in our case,
what we've
under
seen,
this discussion,
what we've seen, yes, you've seen the visa sanctions.
Right.
This is the ones that are making the wrongs, and
But
the financial sanctions.
the OFAC sanctions are, as you read, the ambassador said, it was a whole of government issue. It therefore means they are collaborating agencies. So somebody who is sanctioned by OFAC will also receive a visa sanction.
That's an assumption.
That you hear the man point there,
In
right?
this case we're talking about.
Well, there are two different sanctions, but you're assuming that.
Now, what Leonard Craig is putting to the not so learned doctor, that despite he's trying to separate the two, us and his father were sanctioned under OFAC, right? OFAC does deal with financial things. The U.S. Immigration Authority does deal with visa. But both agencies would have taken action against Azruddin Muhammad. Dr. France tried to separate the two in relation to what the U.S. ambassador said. Visa sanction and financial sanctions, two different sanctions. But both of them can be imposed on you, like it was imposed on Muhammad. So he has financial sanctions and he has visa sanctions. Odessa don't have no money, so they gave her visa sanctions. You understand? So Dr. France trying to dance around it, and all Leonard Craig is saying is that you're separating these two agencies, but these two agencies sanction the same one individual.
You automatically
It is
get a visa
multi-agency.
sanction.
No, in this case, I'm not talking about, I don't know US laws enough to talk about what would usually happen.
Okay.
I'm talking about in this particular case. Both sanctions were applied. Good. And then you equate with May Thomas. My thing is this: have you given due recognition to
Now listen to Leonard Craig's point here, right? Listen to
how
him.
the PPP handled May Thomas case politically by one, removing her from her political position,
Right.
and you refer to the vice president, who did say she will not be on the list,
Right, y'all remember that,
which
right?
is an arm's length relationship politically.
You understand what Leonard's saying? The PPP has distanced itself from the PS, former PS. I don't know what to call it. Distance itself, right? The General Secretary of the PPP said, this person will not be on our list.
And if the mighty PPP, who got the resources to fight back any attempted sanction on the party or on its leaders,
It's a long question.
why do you think ANOG, why would you want to run into a relationship like that others are?
You see,
Leonard Craig hit the nail on the head. If the PPP, as mighty as it is saying no, that person will not be on our list, who the hell is an ANOG that couldn't even secure a seat on its own, that had to join with people to win a seat and didn't even get the seat, that you feel that you could bring this man on board and nothing ain't gonna happen, everything will be all right because it's ANOG? Dr. France is a mad man.
You know, I have said.
Can I ask before you answer that?
Listen to hear what you know.
Can you? What is on a lot of people's mind at this point is, you specifically said it's a collaboration. I think you need to explain to the Guyanese people what this collaboration really
Entail,
means.
yeah.
Well, before
No, Freddie got to jump in and make it clear. This is not no collaboration or coalition. I not get subsumed.
no, before he goes to that,
So I got
that
one
is
question, two questions.
that's a separate discussion because he said something to the Starbucks Jews in today's issue, which I think he's going to run into a minefield, and that may take up the rest of our discussion.
Doctor, I don't know who's Dr. France. I don't know, and like I said, I don't know if it's a case where this man just want to find some way, because I guess he can't do it naturally in terms of getting back at his brother-in-law. I don't know if he's trying to get ready to get in parliament or what. I don't know. But something is wrong with Dr. France.
Let me read what Dr. France said to the Starbucks Jews in today's issue of the Starbucks Jews. And this is quite alarming, and it may have been a mistake on his part. Let me read. Elaborating on the terms of the agreement, France stated that the alliance would have a single list of candidates running on the WIN banner. Given its current largest support base, WIN will have the prerogative of determining the composition of the list, including key positions.
So imagine this idiot. Now, ANOG has been a political player way before WIN, right? They might have win no seat, but they had learned attorneys, they had a former speaker, you had people like Jonathan Yearwood, you had people in there of caliber, right? People in there of caliber. ANOG now has handed to WIN the ability to say, Dr. France, you're not even in this cabinet. You're sitting outside. We're going to bring in Jonathan Yearwood, Ralph Ramkaran, Timothy Jonas, people who resign. He, as the leader of ANOG, has no say in his party members being on the list that he just joined up with. This man is an idiot. This is buffoonery at the highest level. You understand me? Right? Buffoonery at the highest level.
No, that cannot be collaboration.
That's cool.
No, that is submersion.
Subsume. Let the man answer. Let the man answer.
So we're having coalition.
So that's why.
Listen to this retarded argument here. Listen to retardation at its best.
I wanted to explain
Submersion.
what collaboration.
Answer Craig's
Now, good.
comment first. And then
We have, based on conversations with lawyers, both local.
He talking about conversation with liars. Who's Ralph Ramkaran? Who is Timothy Jonas? Right? You consult with them and ask them what they think.
And persons who practice overseas. And the good thing about this is that my GenSec is a lawyer who has practiced overseas and is practicing actively overseas in the United States and around the world. And based on his legal advice, we believe that we can take this step and this option.
Champ, I don't know. I got one more for y'all. Just one more.
think it has gone badly for ANOG based on what is in the papers here. France stated that the alliance would have a single list of candidates running under the wind banner. How? My question to both of you, should ANOG have disappeared themselves on the wind?
Freddie, politics is all about perception. People
Life is
make a
about
statement,
perception.
people make a statement and people perceive this statement to mean A, B, C, D, or E. And this is what politics is all about. Do I believe that? Do I don't believe that? Do I believe half of it, take half, throw away half? It's perception. The mere fact that the intelligent people in Guyana have
Please note that Jonathan Yearwood said the intelligent people in Guyana, right?
seen this so-called collaboration with someone who is sanctioned by the US government. Their perception of ANOG has taken a nosedive and taken that down into the trench. So ANOG right now is a fish floundering in mud with no water around to help it survive. It's there, but it's dying slowly. It has subjected itself to someone else's party who is a sanctioned person. And the perception in Guyana, as I say, I keep coming back to it, politics is all about perception. It's not about fact.
Let me
It's
respond.
not about fact.
Let's hear what Ubraj said, and then you can respond to both of them.
Let me respond to Jonathan. No, I have to.
Let me respond.
Because Jonathan,
Would you be willing
Listen to this.
ANOG down to
Jonathan,
do the same thing with PNCR?
Jonathan is
After the 2020
my friend.
elections?
Okay? I consider Jonathan my friend. And
Said.
Jonathan has told me, Mark, the party should not go in this direction. But Jonathan is correct when he says politics is perception.
Life is about perception. It's
Life is about perception. So we're bringing in the social aspect of it here now.
psychological.
What Jonathan said, and I want the entire Guyanese public to look and listen well,
So this here goes to show you that Dr. France wasn't even listening.
is that the educated persons in Guyana.
No, he said intelligent.
No. He said educated.
Right? You see, Dr. France isn't even listening.
But it's dying slowly. It has subjected itself to someone else's party who is a sanctioned person. And the perception in Guyana, as I say, I keep coming back to it, politics is all about perception. It's not about fact.
Let me
It's
respond.
Not about fact.
Let me
Ubraj said, and then you can
Has taken a nosedive. Politics is all about. Do I believe that? Do I don't believe that? Intelligent people in Guyana, that the mere fact that the intelligent people in Guyana.
I played it back so you could have heard what Jonathan Yearwood said, right?
I heard him and I
The
am
two are
quoting
different. The
him.
two are different.
The educated persons in Guyana.
No, he said intelligent.
No. He said
Mark France isn't even listening. This banner. I don't know why Ubraj didn't knuckle it. I don't know why Ubraj didn't knuckle this banner, boy.
educated. I heard him. I heard him and I
The
am
two are
quoting
different. The
him.
two are different.
The educated persons in Guyana have that perception. But you know what Jonathan is giving us here? He's giving us but an opinion. His opinion. His opinion of who is educated and who is not.
You said intelligent or
Perception.
educated?
First of all, in any country, everybody is not educated at the same level. Everybody don't have the same intelligence. Every country got some stupid people. I am saying so. Right? Every single country has a few stupid people inside. Case in point, Dr. Mark France. Stupid.
No, I was waiting to answer him. That's why I'm telling you it's
He said
education.
intelligent.
You hear how he holding out? I just played back for you. The man never said that. And he arguing strong. So somebody said Ubraj need to knuckle himself.
I would ask Jonathan to retract such a statement as a friend. Because no day and time would I go on any program and say to the Guyanese people that you are not educated.
He
And I
didn't
know
say that.
Jonathan is
He didn't say that.
A bigger man than that. But we come back to perception and his.
Listen, I'm tired of hearing Dr. France. Let me jump over to Mark Benchcap. So, like I said, we got some more. And it's like us taking up the whole news cycle. Is everything is ass. No, shit, man. Shit ass. Stop. Anyway, so yesterday, a media operative and a wannabe, Michael Richmond, tried to make it seem like the government fault that the US is looking further into us and has now tied him in some way, shape, or form to the Maduro administration, right? To the Maduro administration. Now, I want y'all to understand the video that I'm going to play for you next. These individuals are not supportive of the PPP. These individuals aren't supporters of Irfan Ali as a president. These individuals currently don't think anything is happening in this country, right? So they have no reason to gang up on Azruddin Muhammad, right? Because people say, well, the government ganging up on him. They ain't got no reason. These persons are overseas. Well, at least one is an overseas-based Guyanese, Mark Benchcap. I don't know if the other guy is a Guyanese or if he's just give commentary on Guyana or whatever it is. I don't know. But he's a regular on Mark Benchcap's show, right? What they have said speaks volumes. And I play it here so that Guyanese in general can understand and they can have a different perspective, because most people can say, well, you're supportive of government, so that's why you're saying this, or you're supportive of the opposition, that's why you're saying this. Listen to these guys, right? Listen to these guys and their assessment of what came out of the US congressman. Listen.
Warns OFAC, sanctioned Azruddin Muhammad is a pro-Maduro puppet. Putting aside the pro-Maduro puppet, but U.S. Congress warns OFAC, or is it a congressman warns OFAC? I don't know what's going on here. Put the pieces together, please, Tom.
Yeah, so there's a congressman down here called Mr. Carlos Jimenez. He's from the Miami area. He's in the whole group with Marco Rubio. And I've told the audience before, and you guys should hear this, okay? So the Cuban members of our congressional caucus, they have their own network of intel guys that are different from United States intel stuff. Like, they have access to information in the Caribbean that a lot of people don't have. And so whenever you hear a Cuban...
So Kian Jaboring got the information, Mark Francing got the information, and they making big time decisions.
Member of our Congress speak on something on the international level, they're speaking from a place of knowledge. I'm telling you, and they know more than just what our government's telling them. They get information from on the ground, through the Catholic Church, through a lot of different areas. And so when you hear a member of Congress like this speak out publicly and say, hey, Azruddin Muhammad is a pro-Maduro puppet, what he's saying is the intel that we have, the information we have in the United States, and the information that they have been getting is information telling them that Azruddin Muhammad is doing everything that he's doing in order to benefit Maduro and his smuggling operation.
Y'all understand? Y'all understand? It's not yesterday the US investigating us. It's not yesterday they're doing it. So I am utterly shocked with the amount of Guyanese. Like, no, it's the government. It's the government. They're making up tape for Muhammad. Really? Really? You trying to tell me that the Guyana government got so much money to pay off US congressmen and all these people overseas U.S. Federal agencies to open investigation on Muhammad just because he want to run for president. Muhammad didn't say nothing but presidency 2 years back. They said they've been investigating for about 2 years and change. Think about it.
Because remember, Maduro, he uses Trinidad like his own little smuggling island. Okay.
And this is knowledge for us Guyanese. Because of the resistance of the Guyanese government, we are not being used like that. You understand? That is what they want to get our country for. And it seems, based on the information, that there may be persons who are willing to give up our country or parts of our country so that it benefits them. At the end of the day, this guy most likely doesn't care whether we lose Essequibo or not. He cares about whether he's able to, as the US government would have alleged, continue to smuggle out gold for the US, for the Venezuelans. That is his aim. You think people with money got sentiment, but how much square miles and 83,000 square, they don't care. What people like us care about is their bottom line. And his bottom line is the money. That is his bottom line.
So the Venezuelans have been very active under Maduro in smuggling all types of stuff out of the Amazon. Okay, this is just what they do. Maduro's a crook, man. He's a thief, and he's looking to steal from Guyana. So of course, if Maduro is going to plug into Guyana and try to steal from the people of Guyana right next door to him, who is Maduro going to work with? He's going to work with smugglers. Azruddin Muhammad is a smuggler.
Logic. Oh, they're fighting you down? We can back you for the presidency, man. But when we get in there, you don't know what's going on. Yes, Chief. You know, we start stupidity.
And I've said it before, okay? The reason why he's running for president is real simple. He sees it like this. He's under sanctions himself personally. But if he becomes president, then he can make the entire nation be under sanctions. And so that way, everybody will be like him, and his situation will be fixed. So he doesn't have to get off sanctions. All he has to do is put all the rest of you in Guyana under sanctions, and now he's back on the top of the mountain. That's his goal. That's his plan. And so when you hear our members of Congress say, oh, he's a pro-Maduro puppet, what they're saying is, oh, this guy's running for office so that he can become president, and he can make it so that the entire nation of Guyana will be under sanctions. And when that happens, guess what? Maduro takes over Guyana, right? And what will happen is all of Guyana, you will lose everything. They will rob you blind, because once you're under American sanctions, the entire country, then you're like a black zone to us and our government, which means that every government in the world is going to see you and easily pick you apart. Because what they're going to say is okay.
Hold on a second. This LaFleur person, I was supposed to block you long. Hold on. This morning is you morning. This morning is you morning to shine. I'm glad to see you. Yes. Good riddance to this rubbish. Good riddance. I fed up with you. You hear every morning like a cross. And I'm talking so that at least you can hear me say it before I block you. I'm about to do it. This delist LaFleur. Get. Thank you. Anyway, back to cricket.
Hey, well, your nation can't even bank with the United States. Your people can't bank with anybody in Europe.
And that is what I was explaining to you earlier, right? God forbid Muhammad wins this election, right? What do you think will happen to you? Think just because he win the elections, the U.S. government gonna just start dealing with it? No. All those places that deal with the U.S., who have treaties with the U.S., they will stop dealing with us as well. Y'all see what happened to Cuba? Could you imagine? The Americans got Cuba so bad that Cubans just come to Guyana to shop and go back to Cuba to sell? Y'all understand what's going on? The Americans got Cuba so bad for so long. Look, let me give you another example. So my friend Quincy has a wash bay. Y'all, please support Executive Wash Bay on the front row there. Look for the sign. And one of his staff had a birthday party at the wash bay. I'm going to make this small a little bit. One of his staff had a birthday party at the wash bay. Right? The person who used to clean for me ended up starting their own business and they gone, and I needed a new housekeeper. Babs, the person who had the birthday, had 2 Cuban friends who came to the birthday party. The person who works with Quincy now says to me, man, this is the girl I was telling you about. Well, not a girl, a woman. She could come and work for you to do the cleaning work. Right? And I had another one there who she said was supposed to start working at the wash bay. In the words of the Guyanese critic, I kid you not, whilst we talking, I actually found out. I said, like, what they used to do in Cuba? You know, with these 2 women, one who going to work at the wash bay and the other one who's supposed to come and work for me, you know what their professions were or what they're trained and have doctorates in? One is a medical surgeon, and the one who was coming for me is a general practitioner. 2 doctors. 2 doctors. And that's what I want people to understand. It's the US sanctioned Cuba, you know. It's the US got Cuba way there right now. However, there right now is the US. So could you imagine 2 doctors, a surgeon and a general practitioner? Sanctions got them so bad in Cuba that they got come to Guyana and work at a wash bay, and the other one as a custodian, a cleaner. Right? The person who caused the sanctions on Cuba, dead and gone long now. The Americans would know this. The Americans would know this. The person who caused the sanctions on Cuba, dead years now. And Cuba still in the pressure. But asses like Dr. France, Odessa Primus, could encourage people to put this man in power, to put us in the same situation. Right? Anytime y'all thinking about the foolishness they're telling you, remember Cuba. Remember this story I tell you. I wish I could have bring them 2 women on this show to talk to you. I don't want to embarrass them. I don't want to embarrass them. I even turned to Quincy and I said, could you imagine you studying, I don't know how long these doctorate programs are, medical doctors, but you studying from between 4 to 7 years. Pass your exam, you're a doctor. You're a doctor. To go come to another country for wash care. Mind you, wash bay work is honest, good work. But I'm talking about the time invested to study and to achieve this accomplishment. And because your country is sanctioned, this is what you have to do. Leave your country to go to another country, and you can't even get a job on the level that you study so hard for. You understand? Bisunat Mohan, you just don't get employed here to work like that, despite what people may say, especially in a profession like a doctor. You don't just come here and work. You gotta go through the medical council, they gotta vet your certificates and all this other stuff before you get in here. I don't know if they're in that process. You understand me? But right now, and literally, there are people being scrunging around looking for place to rent and thing and living Look, a lot of Guyanese need to get up and get, because people who have way more and dealing with way less, finding a way to do it and finding a way to make it. So some of you who complaining how Guyana so hard and Guyana so this, people who are much more qualified than you doing menial work and getting by. You understand?
Fly to the United States, because that's what will happen with sanctions. No free government in the world is going to see you and easily pick you apart. Because what they're going to say is okay, well, your nation can't even bank with the United States. Your people can't bank with anybody in Europe. You can't even fly to the United States, because that's what will happen with sanctions. No one in Guyana will even be able to come to America, right? And when you're under that situation, the rest of the world will rob you blind. Because what are you going to do then? Are the people of Guyana going to go to China and say, "Oh, protect us, stop people from stealing everything from us"? And so that's Azruddin Muhammad's plan. You know, he wants basically to get out from underneath sanctions by putting the whole country under sanctions, and that would benefit a lot of people around the world, including some Americans. There are some Americans who would love for Guyana to be under sanctions, because then it would be so easy to rob your country blind, and there's nothing you guys will be able to do about it. You'll be underneath the Guyanese police force, where if anyone says a word, they'll just gun you down, unalive you, throw you in a trench, and Azruddin Muhammad will be your king, your sanctions king, and you'll all be under sanctions with him together. That's the plan, and that's what will happen to Guyana if he becomes president. So that's why people are speaking out, because they're saying, oh man, if this guy becomes president, it's obvious what happens here. Guyana becomes a dictatorship. The entire country goes under sanctions, and you all get robbed blind for the next 2 or 3 generations, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. That's what you guys are facing. I don't want that to happen to you, but you know what? The people of Guyana have a choice, and if you guys want to choose sanctions and your whole country under sanctions, go ahead. Pick Azruddin.
You understand? Right? Y'all understand? That is not a pro-PPP perspective. That gives you clearly what can happen to Guyana if we go down this retarded path that Dr. France has started to trod. That is the possibility. So it means Dr. France, Azruddin, none of them care about this country. You realize Venezuela under American sanctions as well. You realize it's because of those sanctions, all these damn Venezuelans running over here to try and get a better life. Why would we want to be like Venezuela? Why would we want to go through what Cuba is going through? Think about it. Why we want to make life hard for ourselves? I tell you, Dr. France got a personal vendetta he trying to settle. Dr. France has a personal vendetta that he trying to settle, and he can't settle it. Dr. France, those are big people. You go and mind your business. Imagine you going to try to sink a whole country, a whole political party, just because, brother. I sure you did that with somebody, sister to body, but you know, this life we could do. Look. Oh boy. It is crazy. Now we at 9 o'clock and me didn't even get to the Ian Allen video yet. But I see it. Like I said, somebody sent it to me this morning, told me about it. Guys, I forget to tell y'all this morning, y'all see the iSecure Fireball, please go down to Game Express and get yours, right? And please tell Quincy I've been advertising it for a while now, because he does only see certain friends when they're doing things. So just let you know, they're there. iSecure. You're secure with iSecure. But Ian Allen, So let me go. I see. Imagine the media in Guyana can't catch Mohammed for get an interview, but a man come from till Trinidad, jump on a boat and reach till in the back of the bush with Mohammed and end up catching for the interview. Let me hear. I ain't see the video. We doing it together. Let's go.
Wow. So we have reached Cartabo, and this is where he said he would be in this little village here. Welcome, as you can see the sign, welcome to Cartabo. Cartabo. Alright, so we're heading along there. Let's see what he has to say. Okay? Go ahead. Let's go. Yeah.
Mind you, I heard Dr. France say that all these people that ANOG and Win pulling, Dr. France, we have never seen ANOG go on an outreach by itself to understand what its strength is. Please have a seat, sir.
Thank you.
I'm not a native of I'm just saying welcome.
Yeah.
We do watch your show.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
I think this is Dexter George. There have been alleged allegations that some money go missing from the New Movement Network. Now they're over by ANOG. This Rasta one here. Allegations. Here was it. Go ahead.
Thanks again, man. So you live in this village?
No, I just said I'm not from here.
Okay.
So you're touring the country.
Yeah, touring, exactly. That's what I'm doing.
What do you think of the country so far?
It's beautiful. A lot of resources, a lot of stuff.
We don't know where we're coming.
Didn't know where we were coming. Right here.
Oh yes, I'm ready for front
Now look at the big crowd Mohammed got, right? They ain't even full the pavilion halfway. And Dr. France talking about, all these crowds. What crowd? Them people there is what Mohammed's pull. That's what ass pull. People who come out to see what they could get for free. They got nobody there representing ANOG, sir. Not a soul.
Right, this opportunity to invite one of your very own to share with us today.
Hi,
Sammy.
Hi. How are you? Good afternoon.
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. What's happening?
I'm not good, man. What do you mean? What's happening here? What's happening?
What's happening with you?
Oh.
I guess everything is okay.
I can't complain. God is good. All the time.
These jokers. You can imagine Odessa Prime Minister everything with the Minister of Food. Everything is kick sheet. You can't hear no policy. Thank
you again.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So you're leaving today?
Hi, and you are?
Odessa Prime.
Odessa Primus.
Odessa,
sorry. And what is your position? Yeah?
I'm the manager.
You're the manager.
She's the manager, not campaign manager. She's the manager.
Definitely, the government has done a very poor job.
Okay.
In governing this country. I mean, there's a lot of glamour and so on in terms of people over here doing a lot, but a lot has been happening. But a lot has been happening for and if the
I think they got another mic by the crowd, so that's why we getting the feedback. Like we getting them louder than Odessa. But when you have nothing to say, you're gonna speak quietly and muffle so people can understand you. You understand? That's what we get in.
Well,
There's a lot of glamour and so on in terms of over here doing a lot has been happening. But a lot has been happening for and if the not get done, then a lot has not been done. If it's only beneficial to your friends and your family, then that's unfair and unfortunate. In fact, I haven't been to
how much places I visited. Persons with leadership relation. Okay. My name is Azruddin Muhammad, of this country. So I have.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, sir.
Can I get your full name, sir?
My name is Azruddin Muhammad.
Yes. And tell me something. Tell me about your political career, sir.
Well, I have been doing my work.
Who work? You.
My humanitarian work for the past 6-7 years now. My father is a well-known businessman in this country. And our belief, we are Muslims. And our belief
is that it's not your duty to help your Muslim brother. That's your belief. Okay, let me continue.
Is that it's a duty, it's compulsory for us to look after the less fortunate.
Okay.
But he just said yesterday, man, wait, let me go look for the video. This man just said yesterday, it's not his duty. This is the double standards. And listen, to tell you all the truth, I did not look at this video before. I didn't even want to tell y'all who said it, who told me about it. I don't want to put them on the spot. Where is it? No, man, I couldn't delete the video. I am not a madman. Downloads, it can't be in downloads. Oh, no, all. Just let me, just hold on. Oh, here it is. Here he telling Ian Allen, listen to this listen to him.
Well, I have been doing my work, my humanitarian work, for the past 6-7 years now. My father is a well-known businessman in this country. And our belief, we are Muslims. And our belief is that it's a duty, it's compulsory for us to look after the less fortunate.
Okay. It's a duty, it's compulsory for us to look after the less fortunate. Here it is.
Your father? Come, why you come? Listen to the story. You message Irfan, you message me. Who assisted you?
You get from Irfan too.
Who assisted you more? Good. And it's not my duty to. Am I correct?
What do we believe? What do we believe? Is it your duty or is not your duty? This is you spoke to Ian Allen about the less fortunate. And that's broad. Afro, Indo, Portuguese got less fortunate in all races. This is your brother in Islam. This is your brother in Islam.
It's not my duty.
It's not his duty, it's your duty to your Muslim.
But I still assisted him.
You hear this, boy? You hear this, boy? So first, he didn't coalescing. Now we coalescing. At one time, it's not his duty to help his Muslim brother. And now the next time, as a Muslim, it is his duty to help the less fortunate. This guy all over the place.
Of my religion.
Okay. And you're practicing
my humanitarian work for the past 6-7 years now. My father is a well-known businessman in this country. And our belief, we are Muslims. And our belief is that it's a duty, it's compulsory for us to look after the less fortunate.
Okay.
It's a pillar of my religion.
Okay. And you're practicing Muslim.
Practicing Muslim. So I've been doing this work myself for the past 7 to 8 years. And it's my public demand.
First of all, he did doing the work 5 to 6 years earlier in the interview. Now he reached out a couple minutes later, he doing it 7 to 8 years. Look, ass is really an ass.
Public demand. Before I go, let's say 12, 1, 2 in the morning, persons with message me. Single mothers, pensioners, persons with disabilities with message me. Mr. Muhammad, we need good leadership. We need persons.
Persons with disability message Muhammad and tell you that they need good leadership. Persons with disability message he and tell he that they need good leadership. Is the people from the disability place there through the crack by Carnegie that the government bill over and do over nice to them? Is it people who that the government putting in wheelchair access to all the government buildings, and is them people? Those are the people who calling you?
That will look out for us. That will empower us. That will work with us.
Imagine the government make it so that certain ministries have to employ persons with disabilities. Right now, I think NCN has, two blind persons working there. I don't know if Julie works there still. But I know an Indian guy, he's DJ and everything. And then there's this other guy, Afro guy, for some reason I can't remember their names. But they're there.
That is why, I've taken up the challenge.
But I'm here for the last 3 days, right?
Yeah.
And I spoke to you Friday when I flew in. And I saw a statement by one of your relatives, which was going against to what you believe and what you pursue.
I have examined all of the candidates, including my own nephew, Azruddin Muhammad. And I have only seen one person that fit, that outshines all the others as far as this is concerned, in terms of his vision, the credentials, the experience, the competence, the integrity that goes with this office.
All those things go with the office. All those things. And our boy asked in check a set of boxes there.
In the light of this, I am hereby endorsing Dr. Muhammad Irfan Ali as President for the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. For my Guyanese brothers and sisters, peace be upon you all. I am Muhammad Hasib Yusuf.
So that is my main reason. If he had those qualities,
two different persons, right?
I would have been the first to endorse him, but he don't have leadership quality. So that is why I just dismiss him.
Do you care to tell me what that?
Well, first thing is, this is a democratic country.
Yeah.
It is a democratic country. And if he supports Irfan, that is okay.
So he supports Irfan?
Yes.
So this is your blood relative? Remember you don't live here? That's your uncle?
Yes.
But he made some strong statements about you.
Yeah, but that's okay. This is a democratic country.
Have you forgiven him?
No, he ain't refuted yet, He ain't got leadership skills. He ain't know nothing. Thing this your uncle said. So he ain't refuted what your uncle said. You just say, well, he got the right to say something.
Of course.
Yeah.
He is free to choose who he wants to lead him. He is free. This is a democratic country, and you have the right to choose who you want.
So we want to ask you just a couple of questions, and this is in no way to discredit you. You're free to say we are live. We are live. Our political legitimacy and experience. President Irfan Ali has held government positions, led housing expansion, and attracted foreign investment. What makes you think you are more qualified than him to run Guyana?
Because I have the interests of the people at heart, and I will work with the people, because his administration neglected the people.
What? That's the qualification? That's your qualification?
Why do you say neglected?
You were just here.
Yeah.
How much persons right here don't have access to electricity and water?
What is the population? What is the population of this part of Guyana?
This village here?
Yeah, Courdel.
About 500 persons.
500. So they are denied these electricity, water.
Hear this ass. Hear this ass. The government sharing out solar panel all around the country to indigenous communities. The government putting in solar farm all around the country. Those people living far from the grid. How they gonna get on the grid, ass? Why you don't run pole from Houston straight to Caratabo and you give them light? I sure this community get prime ministerial and presidential grant for buy generator and all kind of thing. But Caratabo, the region 7. Hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. These people are absolutely horrible. And you know why I just choose to debunk them? Because the facts are out there. The facts are out there. Caratabo, this gotta be region 7. I don't know if this man got answer phone. Hello. Hi, Chief. I'm still on the live morning. I ain't put you on speaker yet. Is Caratabo in your region? This banner being at you in the region there. Y'all distribute solar panels there? Stop. Can I put you on speakerphone? Are you on the live? This man with Ian Allen is saying that the government has denied the people of Caratabo electricity. Folks, on the phone here is the Office of the Prime Minister representative for Region 7, Mr. Earing Ward. Mr. Ward, could you say to us what the government has done in that community? Electricity, infrastructure, whatever it is.
Well, good morning, Courdel, and good morning, Guyana. Let me make it very, very clear. All the villages, whether it's CDC communities or Armenian villages throughout the length and breadth of Region 7, Middleman, but let us zero down to Caratabo. They would have received, each household would have received solar system from us, right? And those solar systems were provided based on the numbers provided by the village council. So all of those houses would have gotten solar panels.
Right. This is ridiculous. How could he go to these communities and make such these assertions, Mr. Ward? Hello?
No, and I saw it. It is ridiculous. Hello?
Go ahead. We're listening to you.
Yeah, it is ridiculous because the neighboring village, Batavia, Caratabo, Itabali, all those areas would have received solar panels through the office of the Prime Minister. And
the signal in Baltica or somebody
they would have submitted those numbers,
right?
And we would have supplied those solar systems.
So what about like boat engines, and do they have internet access up there? They got what, schools? What else is in that area?
Yeah, and again through the office of the Prime Minister, all of those areas would have now been equipped with Starlink net system, so that the teachers who are studying at the teachers training college, they don't have to go to town.
Right.
The system will be there for them.
Wow. Mr. Ward, let me let you go because I overtime for this show. I'm glad that
they have schools, they have the health center. So there's nothing short there. We have just finished drilling a well.
Wow.
Waiting for the installation. So I don't understand. It is ridiculous. It's bad reporting. And you can call there anytime and ask anybody there. They would have gotten, each house would have gotten a solar panel.
I feel like
this is not what the government just come with a number and give. They would have supplied us with a number.
Right.
And based on that number, we would have given them.
I feel like I want to go up to Caratabo and do a live, I feel like I want to do that just to disprove this guy.
It's just ridiculous, Courdel. I just don't understand why would people want to lie like that,
Oh my God.
But you can pull anybody at random, anybody from the village, anybody, and you ask them if they would receive solar panels, and they will say yes. You ask them if the school has access to internet, yes. And so it's just terrible, man.
Mr. Ward, thank you for the clarification. Let me continue and wrap up this program.
Thanks a lot. Always willing to make those clarifications. Thanks again.
Take care, sir. Again, that is Earring Ward, Office of the Prime Minister representative for Region 7. That area where this village, where he is in now, falls under, right? So I have proven to you that this guy ass is a wholehearted liar, right? Let me go again.
President Irfan Ali has held government positions, led housing expansion, and attracted foreign investment. What makes you think you are more qualified than him to run Guyana?
Because I have the interest of the people at heart, and I will work with the people, because his administration neglected the people.
Why do you say neglect?
Solar panel, Starlink, school, health center. Does neglect, okay.
You were just here. How much persons right here don't have access to electricity and water?
Hear this, boy. Don't have access to electricity and water. Mr. Ward just tell you, it's not that they say, oh, we buy 200 panels and we carry it in the community, we only get 200 families. You tell us how many people are there. You tell us how many people are there. They got amount and a number, and that is what the government provided. The amount for the people who are there. And this person ass trying to tell people that they don't have access to water and light. You heard, Mr. Ward. A fresh well just drilled there. So that is what ass is about. Outright lying to the foreign media.
Population, or what is the population of this part of Guyana?
This village here? Courdel? About 500 persons.
500. So they are denied these electricity, water.
Yes. Electricity and water.
Ian Allen said they are denied electricity and water. Yes. This, I wish I was critical. Kali, all the things about Kali. Ass is a liar. Ass is a liar.
So, I've seen a lot of water tanks across here.
I tell y'all, I didn't look at the video. Here, Ian, I've seen a lot of water tanks across there.
Yes, but remember, persons living in different areas behind you. This is just the health center.
Oh, this is the health center. Yeah. We have a health center.
Yes.
Government
buildings.
Oh God, look, solar panel upon them roof. These people denied electricity. These are not homes, mind you. One is the primary school, one is the health center, right? So you trying to tell me the government put in health center and school, but they ain't got access to water and light.
Only the government buildings here have access to water and electricity.
Okay. Secondly, some believe your campaign is more about protecting personal business interests than serving the public. How do you respond to that criticism?
No, I have enough money that I can live and survive and continue to help us.
Okay. What specific national policies are you proposing that prove you have done more than just criticize the current government? And what solutions are you offering?
I don't think I've criticized the government. These persons are coming out when I go to.
So do you think that you are under attack?
Under attack from who?
Well, the government. Do you think that they're after you because you made some strong statements?
Yes, of course.
With respect to
the entire country.
He didn't attack nobody. He under attack.
It's seeing clearly what is going on, how they're victimizing.
Imagine this man has a policy. I posted this just the other day. Kwesi Monroe post it and I share it. Every time you ask Muhammad about policy, I'm a victim, they're victimizing me. That is his response. Let me hear if he can say something about policy. I don't know. Let me hear.
Finally approved. Let's talk about the vehicle incident. This is well known throughout the Caribbean.
Guys saw they came to get your vehicles and what?
Yes.
That's the officials from government.
They approved it. And then
you have the documents to support that, sir.
Documents to support
that they approve the purchase of these high-end
vehicles. They accepted the duty that I take.
But do you have any they accepted it and did they approve it? Do you have documents to show that?
I have they asked to submit evidence.
Okay.
I submitted WhatsApp messages showing that we.
You see how this buy is such a joker. You see, money does give some people credence, you know. You understand? Ian Allen didn't even start to pressure yet, and he fumbling and stumbling and bumbling.
WhatsApp messages.
Okay, tell me something. We are here on Sunday.
Imagine.
You go ahead. This is all yours.
Yes, imagine how they're coming after me.
We hear about policy yet, you know. The question was, what policy? What was the policy of bringing and to make you feel like you could lead? All we hearing is but victimize. Up to now, we ain't get no policy, you know.
Tell me.
I can't even get a flight out of Ogle Airport. Can't even get a flight, out of Ogle Airport to come here.
Okay.
I gotta take a boat that that's gonna take 2 to 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That is a clear case of victimization.
Why you can't get that?
Because they instructed the owners of the air services. They instructed them, do not allow me on the flights. And
Yo, this is the air service, you want to collect your money. The owners of the air services do not want to collect your money. You have to pay them. So, look, Mohammed is not paying for one seat to go to Bartico. He's chartering a plane or 2 planes. The owners of the air services don't want to collect your money. They have visas. Their airlines does deal with overseas companies to buy parts, to buy gasket and valve and thing. They don't want to jeopardize their business by collecting your money, and then the people overseas say, look, you're bringing Mohammed's money for buy parts of your plane. You're there with Mohammed's. You so stupid you can't see the body.
But you have a helicopter, I believe. We have seen it. You have a helicopter.
no, that is air services.
Oh, air services.
Exactly. I used to come to Bartica here every week.
So, Mohammed the bluff away with the helicopter. So the helicopter was a you helicopter. Let me hear it again.
Can't even get a flight out of Ogle Airport. Can't even get a flight, out of Ogle Airport to come here.
Okay.
I gotta take a boat that
Well, I understand that y'all does travel to the interior to your service, but understand the air services one of the operators. But the operators at Ogle will have to collect money from Mohammed's, which is a financial transaction. You understand? In Guyana here, we have no company that produces or sells parts for those planes that they have. They have to shop overseas. So they have to have financial transactions with companies in America or wherever else the plane's coming from. He is sanctioned, right? So they don't want to mix the self with him. They got nothing to do with the government.
they're gonna take 2 to 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That is a clear case of victimization.
Why you can't get that?
Because they instructed the owners of the air services. They instructed them, do not allow me on the flights, and people
But you
are
have a
scared.
helicopter, I believe. We have seen it. You have a helicopter.
No, that is air services.
Oh, air services.
So apparently, like this helicopter used to come by here and land, torn off. And like Niba used to pretend is he helicopter jumping in and going all over the place when he had access to the helicopter. When the helicopter flying behind the boat and things, not he helicopter. So he was faking it. Okay, Papa.
Exactly. I used to come to Bartica here every week.
Okay.
But everything they shut down. I have a quarry right over here. About 1 mile from here.
Yes, sir.
A local business.
Yeah.
They shut down.
Legitimate.
Local business is shutting down.
Okay. Let's talk about sanctions, scandal, and corruption. The U.S. Treasury claims you defrauded the Guyana government and by extension the taxpayers over $50 million through undeclared gold exports. Do you deny these allegations, sir?
Sorry, I don't know about that. I know I'm one of the largest taxpayers in this country.
Can I repeat it for you? The U.S. Treasury claimed
You see though, even Ian Allen realized how stupid this man is stupid. I didn't ask you about taxes you paying in Guyana. The U.S. Treasury said, I'm asking about the U.S. Treasury said.
Treasury, not the government of Guyana, the U.S. Treasury, United States.
The level of stupidity exhibited by us, I don't know how people could follow he. Israeli comedians and them got to follow this man.
Government claims, they claim, not Irfan, not whoever, not Barrett, not whoever is in power here. The U.S. Treasury.
You notice he doesn't deny that, right? Whilst he goes around the place saying, what we going on, lawless is 9:30, we still live. Whilst he's going around the place saying that, Irfan them sanctioned me, the government sanctioned me. You notice he doesn't rebuff Ian Allen for making it clear that these sanctions come from the U.S. Treasury. He can't.
Treasury claim he defrauded the Guyana government by extension and taxpayers over 50 million through undeclared gold export. Do you deny these allegations?
I don't know of that. I know all the gold was declared in the United States of America.
But why is the U.S. making that kind of claim? Why I won't say accusation, claim? Because they have all their documents and whatnot.
But what I know,
go ahead.
If coal got to leave this country,
You see now, he's not answering in terms of, okay, these people got all this documentation and whatnot, right? He bringing in other people. You don't talking about what you do. You're bringing in other people. Let me hear.
All that amount of gold that they're claiming, then senior officials got to know about the modus of operandi. That's what I know. If all this gold got to leave this country, you just can't, walk through this airport with gold. Gold is a heavy.
You used to rent whole helicopter every weekend. You're not a normal person who got walked to the airport with gold. You got boats, you could sail out somewhere, next boat, collect it, carry it to Trinidad, fly out from Trinidad, all kind of thing. This is the ignorance behind it. This guy think everybody as stupid as him. You're smuggling stuff. So obviously the government is not going to know about it. If they know about it, it won't be called smuggling, sir. They have a term for that. It's called exporting. When it goes through all the right procedures, the government know, the taxes pay, everything marked, everything is good and wholesome. That's called exportation. What you did was smuggling, or what the U.S. is alleging that you did is smuggling. A big difference.
Why would the U.S. make such a strong claim? And you need to understand it's not just government, it is the U.S., United States of America, making a claim against you, Mr. Muhammad. You tell me about that.
I don't know about that. I know all the gold was declared in the United States.
If you believe the OFAC sanctions are unfair or politically motivated, have you taken any legal steps to challenge or appeal them? If you believe that, what are the challenges that you have taken? The steps that you have taken to defend yourself?
My attorneys in the U.S. OFAC attorneys, dealing with that present.
Could you give us the names of your attorneys or the chamber that they are attached to?
No, I don't want to make that up.
You know.
Look, not even the chamber where they're attached to. You understand? Look, I tell you guys, this is the first time I'm watching this thing.
I want to do that. Yeah. Given you are blocked from engaging with the U.S. financial institution, that you are blocked from engaging with U.S. financial institution, how would you lead a country whose largest oil partners and investors include American firms?
Hear the point, Ian Allen. The question, Ian Allen is a boss. Think about it. I'll dealing with U.S. USA like you. Let's hear us respond.
Very soon, these sanctions should be lifted.
How?
Very soon.
You're working on it. You're working on it. Yes. The attorneys are. Could you tell us what the attorneys are?
No, I don't want to mention that. I can't mention.
Y'all listening to what I listening to? I am. What story is this? Who is us? Who is us? Oh, let me hear the question from Ian Allen again.
You need to understand it's not just government, it is the U.S., United States of America, making a claim against you, Mr. Muhammad. You tell me about that.
I don't know about that. I know all the gold was declared in the United States.
If you believe the OFAC sanctions are unfair or politically motivated, have you taken any legal steps to challenge or appeal them from engaging with U.S. financial institutions? How would you lead a country whose largest oil partner?
How would you lead a country whose largest oil partner is U.S. firms? Right? His response:
partners and investors.
Very soon the sanctions will be lifted. That's how we're going to deal with it.
Does include American firms.
Very soon, these sanctions should be lifted. Very soon.
You're working on it. You're working on it.
Yes.
The attorneys are. Could you tell us who are the attorneys? I mean,
No, I don't want to
mention
mention that. I can't mention them.
I mean, given that you are.
He can't mention them. I thought lies like this publicity.
These sanctions should be lifted. Very soon. You're working on it.
You're working on it.
Yes.
The attorneys are. Could you tell us who are the attorneys? I mean,
No, I don't want to
mention
mention that. I can't mention them.
I mean, given that you are blocked, you are
And
blocked
also
from engaging with U.S. financial institution. How would you lead a country? I realize that you are vying for.
Irfan was blocked from Canada. He was
And he's still
sanctioned by
leading the
Canada.
whole country.
He had 19.
Eerie Pitbull. She ain't even there in the interview. This is how unprofessional this Odessa Primus is. Your presidential candidate talking, and you want pushing your big sour mouth.
Right. 19 fraud charges.
Right.
He was blocked from Canada.
Yes.
He was blocked from Canada. The Prime Minister for India, he was sanctioned. Today he's one of the top leaders.
I do have that kind of, okay, if you're saying that.
Syria president.
Yeah, but given that you're blocked from engaging with U.S. firms, financial, how do you lead? And
The third time me and Alain are asking a question. So every time, right? Every time you ask something about how you gonna take Guyana forward, what's the policy for Guyana? Victim, 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 victim. That is his response. And the worries in the background.
I mean, if you become president, how are you going to lead this great nation? This is a great nation. Guyana is a great nation. I was so impressed with the resources and whatnot, the infrastructure, a lot of things happening. How would you? This is a great nation.
So imagine Ian Allen could come for 3 days and see what's going on here. And his view as is that neglected, everybody's neglected, nothing is happening, the oil resources.
How would you lead a nation like this when you are in a position where you are blocked from doing anything with the U.S.?
It's just that my business, my business is Muhammad's Enterprise, Hadis World Incorporated, Canada.
How the hell are you dealing with foreign financial institutions? Simple question.
Businesses with the United States of America. My businesses were sanctioned.
Okay.
That's understand.
Yes.
Let's clear this up.
As well. So what Mom is trying to say, the business is sanctioned and not he sanctioned?
This is a narrative.
This is a narrative Ali and Jagdi want to push.
Right. Well, I can't say if Ali and Jagdi are pushing this, sir.
My Sanctions got a lot of political overtures in it.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
My Sanctions got a lot of political overtures behind it.
Go ahead.
Excuse? You didn't access us here in this village permission to come here. This Mr. Muhammad asked and he was granted.
Well, look at story here. Is put out here and getting put out. What story is this? You serious? You are Iyad Ali get put out the village? The person who tell me about the video, they in the comment section saying it gets better, it gets better. And I'm wondering how better it could get than this. What the bomb? Oh God. Guyana is not a real place. Guyana is not a real place. Oh God, let me go back. Wait. Let's go back a little bit. Wait.
Want to push.
Right. Well, I can't.
Yes. Both of us. All of us here are enjoying this for the first time, right? Munaram, you gotta go and start your own show. I could butt in as much times as this is my show. So if you don't like me stopping the video, you go start your own show and play the video as long as you want. Right? Muniram Manbood. Right? This is my show. So I can butt in as much as I want. I'm butting in right now. I'm ready to play the video yet. If you have an issue, you leave the live. You go elsewhere.
They're pushing this, sir.
My son has got a lot of political overtures, you know.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
My son
explain, you
got a lot of
Naz Ali, yes. In Guyana, you need to seek permission to visit indigenous communities. You need to have permission to go there. You can't just walk in them as you like. That is indeed true.
political overtures behind it.
Go ahead.
Excuse? You didn't access us here in this village permission to come here. This Mr. Muhammad asked and it was granted by the residents. So please don't question him.
Business entrance versus national. Will you come?
Jesus Christ! Look! Oh my God! How I missed this. I seriously gotta go back and start watching Crime Watch. Ian Allen give a complete ignore to you. You don't know.
Make you place in your business.
Please, Ali and Jack, do you want to push?
Like,
y'all watch this. Watch this.
Can't say Ali and Jack, they're pushing this, sir.
My son has got a lot of political overtures, you know.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
My son
explain, you
got a
know.
lot of political overtures.
National. Will you commit you place in your business?
Please leave. Please leave.
Racing and Hadith's world.
This village permission to come here. This Mr. Muhammad asked and it was granted by the residents. So please.
You're not in that time with that. You might not start asking question again. Yes.
Don't question him.
Business entrance versus.
So imagine whoever this. I'm hoping that he's a council member. Now he telling the interviewer Ian Allen, don't question Muhammad. He come and do nothing bad in the village. He disrespect nobody in the village. I am acknowledging that I do know, yes. You have to get permission to come in. But as David Sabrian so quickly reminded us, as invite Ian. So the permission would fall under as thing, as invite Ian. The Marcy spoke to him when he got there, and he told him that he would be here and come and meet him here. As invite him.
National. Will you commit you place in your business?
Please leave. Please leave.
Racing and Hadith's world to a blind trust or diverse entirely if elected president. Tell me. If elected president, what you going to do with all these companies?
Yes, well, of course.
We are live, sir. We are live. We are live. The entire nation, the world is seeing this, sir. I know. Okay, I understand and I respect that. Maybe I should have come to you.
But you didn't ask us permission.
Okay,
so please.
I can't. I know. I came from far.
We're a religious village here, and please.
Religion? What? So what religion got to do with it? Is a Muslim village? What's the religion of the village? Was it?
I understand. Many sisters,
leave.
So we are going again. Will you publicly declare your assets?
We are a religious village. Pamela, I'm tending to believe you. We're a religious village. Please leave. Okay.
Practice for the past 10 years?
Yes.
Would you do that, sir? Okay. Would your government invite international anti-corruption observers or agencies to assist in reforming Guyana gold and attractive sectors? Of course. Do you support stronger campaign finance laws and transparency in political donation if it means disclosing funds your own campaign?
With this man.
Yes.
And you realize you realize the persons who are now objecting to Ian Allen doing the interview are persons who come from Muhammad meeting that just down there, right? So the pit bull probably hear the questions and realize that, okay, this may not be painting this guy in the best light because Muhammad answering and talking their stupidness. So I'm alleging that she signaled the village person. And this we come to do. This we come to do. If you notice, he come over in a blue jersey, just like the people on the Muhammad's team. Don't question him. He's not from the village.
But presently, not even the PPP does that.
Okay, Guyana has a sensitive history of political and ethnic division. How do you plan to unite the country and build trust across racial, class, and regional lines? Just 3 questions, sir.
Sorry, please.
Go ahead.
We need
Go ahead,
photograph with Mr. Muhammad and you.
He stopped in the interview so he could go and take picture. Could you imagine?
You are
just to say, if elected,
let's answer that question.
Yeah, go ahead. Your potential, your perspective, the candidate here, he's answered the questions. So just hold on, please. Guyana has a long sensitive history of political and ethnic division. How do you plan to unite the country and build trust across racial, class, and regional lines? Tell me, Mr. Ahmed. Perfect. Just hold on, please.
As you can
2 more questions and that's it.
As you can see, if you follow my page, win, have so much support. Win.
You see, watch. And then they complaining about PPP, people running them out of village and disturbing the campaign and all kind of thing. Ian Allen is a neutral person. He come from Trinidad. He got no time with PPP, PNC, win whoever. Now, instead of they'll allow their candidate to make or to do an interview so that the entire country doesn't think he's a complete buffoon. Look at this one in the back. Look at this one in the back. And she thinks she giving some credence or some credibility to Muhammad by going on like this in the background, right? So that persons can actually hear what he said, to differentiate between the stupidity and the sense.
I'm the only person on the party that supported all these different
Win! I imagine the presidential candidate who has agreed to the interview doesn't even have the sense to say, all right, let's give them a chance, just let me talk to them already, or to say, well, the villagers know what, here we ended the interview. He just standing up there and talking. There's butter.
And criminal proceedings initiated against locally or internationally. Step aside from office.
Win!
locally.
Win!
This point to join in WIN.
Win!
Okay.
President needs some photograph.
We can't even hear what Muhammad saying. They're doing more of a disservice to Muhammad than Ian Allen. Oh God, look.
They can't come in people's village and say a lot of things.
So she in the corner there going on lawless and making herself a damn fool. You understand? And this is something that's supposed to give Muhammad's credibility. Set of stubbornness.
Will you commit to firm limits, non-interference in judicial freedom of press, even when the heavens are unstable to you?
Trust me, when I take office on the 2nd of September, I will confirm the Chancellor and the Chief Justice.
Do you feel that building houses make you qualified to deliver 50,000 houses lot?
The house lots.
They tell me.
This is a major issue.
But this is a major, so we are final from your candidate here.
I would like you to go around the country.
I have no problem with that.
And ask persons if they ever went on their house lot. They received this letter, but they don't even know where the house lot.
Hear this by. So you say 50,000 people didn't see the house lot yet?
You understand what I'm saying? They received the letter, but they don't even know where is the house. Look, it's a presidential candidacy. It cover to have a cover up to have your classroom rooms forgiven.
These people, I don't want to be abusive, but I understand what Jonathan Yearwood was saying earlier. You understand? About intelligence. You understand?
Are you confident? In fact, it's a presidential it's covered to have
When
Bobby,
you have so much need.
everybody, but you can't ask them and everything and be able to care for them. You drive on the broke up road and come in this place. You will ask the president.
What about people who get involved with you?
The Prime Minister of India was
Rather than sincere, are you buying your support?
Residents.
No, man, this is.
He called for residents. And look, with this one running going, where this one running going, he just tell Ian Allen, 500 people living in this village. That's 500 people there?
No, you stop and talk to the president. No, Anthony, listen to me. This man stop and talk to the president. You can't tell nobody control nobody, because nobody can control you. Listen to me. You spoke to the president. You drive on the broke up road and come in this place.
Listen, me giving all this airtime. You understand? You know what I tell you? Me screening big enough for a whole lot though. To hold all the weights. We went over, we do have 2 hours this morning. And they got must about a good about 8 minutes left on the interview. Let me see, man, wait.
The mother road, yeah, it's past this man, brother. Okay. You understand me? Or you could ask a man, what make you think you could run any country? Sorry.
What you mean? What's this worries? What make you think you could lose weight?
But sir, we have people who have never you know what? It's not the question. Is the structure. You will say no.
So Odessa only wants people to ask Azruddin questions that make him look good. She doesn't like the structure. She got 2 biceps there, man. Jesus Christ.
Just ask him.
And imagine Chow Po and John Tom see the body shaming me. I got breasts, I fat. These guys are real? Look at what's on the screen. Look at what's on the screen.
How much experience?
Look, the person who put you down the village in this blue.
You don't do it to the president. You don't really. I want to say, yeah, you pay for everybody, but you can't ask them on anything and be.
So because Azruddin can't speak and represent himself, Mouta Prepre Odessa primers jump in with the rest of villagers to play like they were attacking and all. I didn't even realize all of this went down. So she vexed because the questions Ian Allen. And that's a valid question. You've not spent any time in political office. So what gives you the idea that you could run the country?
No, man, in behavior, yeah, it's past the man. Yeah, it's past the man. Sanction. Why did I say finance sanction?
Because they got no current sanctions imposed on you, frat idiot. Look your face. Who is currently sanctioned? How is he going to ask Irfan about sanction when the president don't have no sanctions against him currently? And matter of fact, I don't think the president had a sanction. There were charges against the president that never materialized into anything.
Asking questions.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't do it to air farm with the punishing in this place here.
The Ghanese people have a duty to know what's going on. Could you tell the people just to you can answer? Not I will answer, but I mean you can't
Please leave.
I'm not visitor to Ghana.
No, sir.
This is his operandi, modus operandi all the time, you know. Hide behind the screen page. When a difficult question comes, or he's placed or backed into a corner, scrape heads assemble! And they go come wrong, a guarantee from being accountable. Yo, guys, I can see y'all tomorrow. We had a good session today. It's 2 minutes after 10. Y'all continue to be good Guyanese. And as I usually say, before I go, it's all about peace. I take these worries off. It's all about love. It's all about one guy.
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble. Just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains. We ain't giving up no tree. We ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere. Make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains. We ain't giving up no tree. We ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.